My dear brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when it feels like the whole world is against you. People misunderstand you, they speak about you, they plot, they try to break your spirit, damage your name, and shatter your confidence. Sometimes it's those closest to you who hurt you the most. But remember one thing clearly, Allah sees everything. Allah sees the tears you wipe away in the dark. Allah hears the dua you whisper when your heart feels heavy. Allah knows the injustice you endured silently. And when Allah knows, He never ignores. There are people who try to push you down thinking your fall will be their success. But they forget something very important. Your life is not in their hands. Your honor is not in their control. Your future is not written by their opinions. It is written by Allah, the most just, the most wise. Sometimes Allah allows people to hurt you, not to destroy you, but to detach you from them and attach you to Him. If everything had gone smoothly, you may never have turned back to Allah with sincerity. You may never have discovered how strong you truly are. They tried to break you, but Allah was strengthening you. They tried to humiliate you, but Allah was preparing to honor you. They tried to stop you, but Allah was clearing your path. Do you know why hardships feel heavy? Because they are carrying a gift. Inside every test is a lesson. Inside every pain is purification. And inside every delay is divine timing. Allah says that He raises people in ranks. Sometimes He raises you after you are pushed to the ground, so that you know it was not your intelligence, your connections, or your strength that lifted you. It was Allah alone. Be patient, not because it is easy, but because you trust Allah's plan. When you choose patience over revenge, dignity over anger, and faith over despair, Allah elevates you in ways you never imagined. And one day, without you announcing it, without you defending yourself, people will look at you and wonder, how did they get here? They will not know about the nights you cried. They will not know about the dua you made, but Allah knows. So hold on to your faith. Keep your heart clean. Keep walking forward. Because when people tried to break you, Allah raised you. And when Allah raises someone, no one can bring them down. My dear brothers, and sisters, never for a moment think that your pain goes unnoticed. Never believe that the tears you hide, the sighs you suppress, or the heaviness in your chest is invisible. Even when no one asks you what you are going through, even when people dismiss your struggles or tell you to be strong, Allah is fully aware of every detail. He is closer to you than anyone you can imagine, closer than your own heartbeat. The silence of the night that witnesses your tears is also a witness for you with Allah. There are pains you cannot explain to people because words are not enough. There are wounds that do not bleed outwardly, but hurt deeper than any physical injury. You smile in front of others. You carry on with your responsibilities, yet inside your heart feels exhausted. Understand this clearly. Allah knows the weight you are carrying. He knows the injustice you endured, the betrayal that shook you, the effort you put in that no one acknowledged. Nothing is lost with Allah, not even the pain you felt for a moment. Sometimes you ask yourself, if Allah sees, why is it taking so long? And the answer is not neglect, it is wisdom. Allah does not rush the process because He is not only solving a situation, He is shaping your heart, strengthening your faith and refining your character. The delay is not punishment, it is preparation. Every tear that falls sincerely is recorded. Every dua made with a broken heart is valued immensely by Allah. There are moments when the pain pushes you closer to Allah than ease ever did. That is not coincidence. That is mercy in disguise. When the world turns its back on you, Allah opens a door that leads straight to Him. When people fail you, Allah reminds you that reliance on Him is the safest place your heart can rest. So do not underestimate the power of your silent endurance. Do not think that because people moved on, Allah did the He did not. He never does. He sees you when you feel unseen. He hears you when you feel unheard. And when the time is right, Allah will respond in a way that will make you realize that every tear had a purpose and every pain was known. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest illusions in this world is the belief that people control your worth. They speak as though their words then define you. Their approval can elevate you, and their rejection can erase your value. But honor does not come from people, and disgrace is not placed by human tongues. True honor comes only from Allah. And when Allah decides to raise someone, no amount of criticism, jealousy, or plotting can pull them down. People may try to lower you in many ways. Some will question your intentions. Others will highlight your mistakes while ignoring your sincerity. Some will remind you of your past, hoping to chain you to it. But they forget that Allah is the one who covers faults, forgives sins, and transforms lives. What people choose to expose, Allah can conceal. What people try to destroy, Allah can rebuild stronger than before. There are times when you lose status in the eyes of people simply beck. As you chose righteousness over popularity, silence over arguments, patience over retaliation. You may feel like you are losing ground, but in reality, you are rising with Allah. When you step back for His sake, He brings you forward in ways you never planned. When you humble yourself before Him, He lifts you in dignity in the eyes of those who matter. Understand this deeply. People's opinions change faster than the wind. The same mouths that criticize today may praise tomorrow. The same hands that push you away may one day reach out to you. If your heart is attached to people, you will always be disappointed. But when your heart is attached to Allah, stability enters your life. You stop chasing validation and begin walking with confidence because you know who stands behind you. Allah. As a way of turning humiliation into elevation. What felt like embarrassment becomes a badge of honor. What seemed like a fall becomes a rise. And it often happens quietly, without announcements, without arguments, without you having to defend yourself. Allah handles it for you. So do not measure your worth by people's acceptance. Measure it by your sincerity with Allah. Stand firm, remain humble. And trust His plan. Because when Allah is pleased with you, it does not matter who is not. And when Allah grants honor, no one can take it away. My dear brothers and sisters, many people think that when life becomes difficult, it means Allah is displeased with them. When doors close, when plans fail, when pain becomes constant, they assume they are being pushed away. But hardship is not a sign of rejection. Very often it is a sign that Allah is preparing you for something far greater than you can currently see. If every test meant rejection, then the best of people would have lived the easiest lives. Yet those most beloved to Allah were tested the most. They faced loss, rejection, hunger, fear, and loneliness. Not because they were weak, but because Allah was strengthening them. Hardship refines you. It removes arrogance, softens the heart, and builds a level of reliance on Allah that comfort can never create. Sometimes Allah breaks your routine before He changes your rank. He disrupts what feels familiar so that you can grow beyond what is comfortable. If everything remained easy, you might settle for less than what Allah has planned for you. The difficulty you are facing today may be training you for a responsibility you will carry tomorrow. The weight is heavy because the destination is high. There are lessons that can only be learned through pain. Patience is not learned when everything goes your way. Gratitude is not purified when you are surrounded by ease. True tawakkul is not built when you feel in control. It is built when you realize you have no control. All, and you place your full trust in Allah. That moment of surrender is not weakness, it is strength. Hardship also reveals who you truly are. It shows you the depth of your faith, the sincerity of your dua, and the resilience of your heart. When everything is stripped away, what remains is your connection with Allah. And that connection, once strengthened through trials, becomes unshakable. So do not rush the process. Do not compare your journey to someone else's comfort. Allah knows exactly where you are and exactly what you need. He is not delaying to punish you. He is delaying to prepare you. When the ease comes, and it will, you will realize that the hardship was not meant to break you. It was meant to raise you, shape you, and place you where you truly belong. My dear brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when you stand in front of a closed door and feel completely helpless. You tried your best. You made the effort, you planned, you hoped, you waited, yet the door did not open. Sometimes it was a door closed by people, a rejected opportunity, a broken relationship, a position denied, a hand withdrawn when you needed it most. And in those moments, the heart feels heavy because we naturally think that what closed was our only chance. But understand this truth: when a door closes by people, it does not mean the end. It often means Allah is redirecting you. People close doors based on limited knowledge, personal interest, or temporary emotions. Allah opens doors based on infinite wisdom, mercy, and perfect timing. What people block, Allah can replace with something far better, often from a direction you never expected. There are times when Allah closes a door to protect you. Had it opened, it may have harmed your faith, your character, or your future. At the moment, you may not see the danger, but Allah sees beyond what is in front of you. He sees the outcome, the consequences, and the impact on your heart. What feels like loss today may actually be rescue, and when Allah opens a door, no one can shut it. Not jealousy, not opposition, not circumstances. You may walk through that door with fear and humility, knowing very well that it was not your strength that opened it. It was Allah's favor. That is why doors opened by Allah come with peace, even if they are challenging. They come with barakah, even if they require patience. Sometimes Allah waits until all other doors are closed so that your heart stops relying on people. When you realize that no one else can help, your dua becomes sincere, your reliance becomes pure, and your connection with Allah becomes stronger. At that point, the opening that comes is not just a solution, it is a transformation. So do not stand forever grieving at a closed door. Trust that Allah has access to doors you cannot even see yet. Keep walking, keep trusting, making dua. Because when Allah opens a door, it will not just lead you forward. It will remind you that every closure had a purpose and every delay was guiding you to something better. My dear brothers and sisters, the way you respond to hardship often matters more than the hardship itself. When life tests you, when people wrong you, when situations feel unfair, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to anger, bitterness, and revenge. The other leads to patience, trust, and faith. It is this choice, your response, that invites the help of Allah into your life. Patience does not mean you feel no pain. It does not mean you are unaffected or silent because you are weak. True patience is when your heart is hurting, your mind is exhausted, yet your tongue remains mindful of Allah and your actions remain dignified. It is when you resist the urge to react in a way that would displease Him, even though you have every excuse to do so. And Allah sees that struggle more clearly than anyone else. Faith during difficulty is powerful because it is sincere. Anyone can thank Allah when things are going well, but to trust Allah when things fall apart requires conviction. When you continue to pray even when answers seem delayed, when you continue to hope even when evidence says otherwise, that is when divine help draws near. Allah loves when His servant turns to Him not just for blessings, but for strength. Many people want Allah's help without changing their response. They want ease while holding on to resentment, relief while feeding anger, victory while abandoning patience. But Allah's help descends when the heart submits. When you forgive for His sake, He replaces what you lost. When you remain calm for His sake, He brings tranquility into your life. When you leave matters in His hands, He handles them better than you ever could. There is a special support from Allah that cannot be explained. An inner peace, a quiet confidence, a sense of stability, even while the storm continues. That support comes to those who respond with faith. And often, before Allah changes your situation, He changes you. He strengthens your heart so that when the outcome arrives, you are able to carry it with humility and gratitude. So choose your response wisely. Let patience be your shield and faith be your anchor. You may not see the help immediately, but trust that it is on its way. Because when a servant responds with sincerity and trust, Allah never leaves them alone. He supports them, guides them, and eventually grants them a relief that makes every moment of patience worth it. My dear brothers and sisters, when you look back at your journey, you will realize that nothing you went through was wasted. Every tear, every test, every moment of loneliness had a purpose written by Allah long before you felt the pain. People may have tried to break you, to silence you, or to push you aside, but they were never in control of your destiny. When you were weak, Allah was strengthening you. When you were overlooked, Allah was preparing to elevate you. When doors were closed, Allah was guiding you toward better ones. And when you chose patience over bitterness and faith over despair, you unlocked a help that only Allah can give. Do not regret the hardships. They introduced you to your Lord in a way He's never could. They taught you to rely on Allah when no one else stood with you, and they proved to you that honor, success, and healing come only from Him. So walk forward with confidence, humility, and gratitude. Keep your heart connected to Allah, no matter what people say or do. Because when Allah raises someone, He do. So with wisdom, mercy, and perfect timing. And when Allah raises you after you were tested, your story becomes a reminder to the world that no one can break a soul protected by Allah. Thank you, everyone.